Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. This is a 110cc made in China. You can see the 107 right there. Made in China all-terrain vehicle. It's small size, meant for small people. It does not have a shifter, so it's an automatic single speed forward. It also doesn't have anything on the front wheels, such as brakes. So all it has is a rear disc brake. This would be like one of the cheapest all-terrain vehicles you can find out there to buy. I think it's fairly modern vintage, but I looked it over and I couldn't find a tag. Even when you look at the tires, like this one is buffed, almost completely clean, but the other three still got a little thread left on them. So I think they were just looping this around a circle over and over and over again, just tearing the grass up, as it were. Anyway, what do I want to do before I decide to just tow this around back and ignore it? I want to see if it will start, if it turns around, if the engine's seized. I mean, I'm seeing bad indications. Normally when you see this kind of stuff, I'm lucky it's loose. It looks like it's got oil in it, and I don't see it all plastered in oil. Though, if I had to guess, because of that crack right there, I think it was leaking oil. Looks like at some point they had this cover off. You can see the red death. They also had red death here, and it looks like they futzed around with the automatic engagement there. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe it's alive, maybe it's not. I'm seeing some loose wires. Yeah, I don't know if somebody hardwired that or what the hell happened. So, you know, let's attempt to give it a start. Worst comes to worst, it doesn't start. So, pulling the seat off. Look at this. We got a tool kit. There's even tools in it, which is amazing considering they could have easily dumped out. Battery. Oh. We got the old lift-up cable here. I don't know if this is the original battery or not. No, probably not. They normally don't come with little wooden blocks on the bottom. So it's got a door last battery. I don't know. This thing could be a couple of years old. Being eaten alive by mosquitoes as I'm talking to you guys. Anyway, here, yeah, let's turn it around. See if we can put the old 14mm on it and turn the engine over. If it's seized, it's easy. Then we just take it off, drag it out back, and ignore it. If it's not seized, we'll try to get it started. So, looking at the left-hand side of the engine, we have, nice. Sometimes I gotta put a washer in there to get it out. You guys can see I scraped the first 14 feet of dirt off of that. 14. Well, wow, it even seems to have compression where it's supposed to be. It actually, the compression feels pretty good. Well, let's put that cap back on, hook a battery up to that broken terminal, and push the button. What's the worst that could happen? Well, here's the jump pack. It's on. Brake. Maybe keys on. Oh, wait a minute. I heard a click. Haha, check it out. I say we're next is some starting fluid. That'll tell us if we got spark, and she might even roar to life. Wow, I got no air cleaner under there. Imagine running it through all this crap without an air cleaner. Just think of what this engine has inhaled. God. So, I can't quite get to the choke from here. Let's give it a hoot. Okay, I think I direct hit the carburetor a couple of times. Once again, you're on, you're good. Wow. It started. God, I like that. I don't know. I think I should get it on the ground before I do too much fooling around here. It seemed to pull a little bit, so maybe it'll even move. Okay, we got it back on the ground. I trickled a little gas into the gas line. Right, we have the battery hooked up again. Let's see if we can't get it to start. Just a hoot. I think mosquitoes like the smell of starting fluid. It's making bad sounds. Let me jack this up or put a block under it or something. Then we'll see what happens. Alright, the wheels are kind of jacked up. And oh, starting sounds great. And we have so it almost starts, it almost runs. What do we know, what don't we know? The starter obviously has issues. Sounds like something's broken in there. So we kind of know that. The carburetor, if I were a betting man, given that like this piece here is missing, I disconnected the gas line. It probably has water in it, so the carburetor probably needs to come off and get cleaned. And that cover that's on there with all the red death, I think that needs to come off again to see what's going on with the starter. Why is it grinding and making bad sounds like that? If you guys are familiar with the way the starter works on this thing, the starter turns a chain, and the chain turns a one-way clutch on the flywheel. So from the sound of it, it almost sounds like the flywheel is loose, or yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to picture what's going on in there. Yeah, it almost sounds like the flywheel is loose. So it needs to it does need to get opened up and taken apart. I bought this. I got my $100 worth of amusement out of it. All these Ford tires hold there. The shocks appear to be pretty good. The plastic, I've seen a lot worse. As a matter of fact, the plastic is more or less intact. It's got a little ugliness, but it's more or less intact. The front rack and bumper are there. I mean, believe it or not, there's actually quite a bit on this thing. The engine does turn over and start, so the piston's there, the jug, the rings, the overhead valves. I mean, the whole top of the engine is there. As you start grinding through, the seat, wherever I lost that at, is actually in pretty good shape, right? We've seen them in a lot worse shape. So other than getting the amusement of seeing it start, I think I got enough parts here. Tires, they 4-bolt or 3-bolt. They're 3-bolt tires. You know, I got quite a bit here, so I cannot at all complain about the deal. It was worth $100 to me. The brakes work. The back brakes actually work. So it'd almost be interesting to drop this thing down so that it's literally 2 inches off the ground instead of that looks like about 8 inches off the ground. And then would be interesting to lengthen the frame a little bit and just use this thing as a flat track racer, huh? It'd just be fun to just wind it for all it's worth, getting around the track. Anyway, we can make it run. Not sure why I would want to, but we can make it run. Just keep that in mind. I want you all to keep your feet down, your heads up, and I need you all to get out there and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.